All right, so we got news that a 2.0 feature is going to be showing up in global already, and it's going to be the new dimensional variable. And I am extremely excited. And I think a lot of content creators are very, very excited about this entire thing because it is going to be a massive update. It's going to give us even more shifted stars per month, and it's so much more fun. You're limited every week by one modifier, but the whole system has changed. You can run solo much better. You can also run other units that you actually don't have in the game own, and recruiting is super fun. So let's go ahead and just kind of go over some of the quick changes. Now, instead of there being a weekly level cap that you only get to, you have the season that gets you up to 40, and it gives you an increase of another 400 gems per month. So right now we're at I think we get about I take that back, another 800 gems per month. Right now we get about 400 gems per month in dimensional variable, but we're going to end up getting 1600 per month from dimensional variable. It's also going to give us more DV currency, obviously, and we're also going to get this red currency that we still don't have yet in global, so this might be omitted in our update. It just depends on whether or not they decide to bring other quality of life changes as well. The tree is completely different. The buffs are completely different. We still have, Lone Wolf and some of the other buffs, but we no longer have the team switching buff that allows you to switch your team leader, things like that. Because of how the recruitment works and how you play with other characters in the game, we have an entirely different skill setup. Instead of just allotting points into certain buffs, we now have the same thing but with a tree. So you can allot points into more of an offensive set or offensive tree. This is more of your resources and coin increase and coin drop, etc. And then you've got more of treasure related buffs down here. You'll notice on the left side, I don't know if the UI is going to be the same for here as it is on global, because the UI in China has changed completely everywhere, and we may or may not get the same UI here, but we have the modifiers who are here. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to start DV all over again. You'll have modifiers here that you have to unlock every week with this currency. You get one of these on every week's reset, and these are used to unlock a character to play. Now, as you can see, we have some characters here that have not yet been revealed in global, such as Bastet, as well as Oneros. Well, really, those are the only two at the moment. And during each season change, the modifiers will be changing as well. Notice as well that these modifiers are all at SS rank, so that's something to note. They also have their signature functors, or just 5-star functors in general. Okay, it's no longer about trying to get sigils or functors throughout your fights in dimensional variable. Now it's just about purely having fun with units that can go burr and be a lot more fun and more enjoyable than they are when you're actually playing other content in the game. You'll notice that they all have sigils already set. You have their skills upgraded. They have their codes. Okay, I believe you can change their codes. Okay, so that's something also to note. You can actually change their codes here and set up a different setup of codes if you want to, which is really neat. So again, yes, I don't think you can change the sigil sets. Unfortunately, which this is an interesting set. So the jin-ei is mostly physical, but there's that there. Here's your weekly goals and seasonal goals for your seasonal XP. So you have your challenges that you have to meet. Some of them require you to play and recruit more characters. Some of them require you to play more stages with recruited characters, etc., etc. And then you also have achievements as well here and unlocks that you'll get throughout playing it. And then there is a leaderboard, which is obviously still a thing that we have now in global. And then you have a shop that you can go directly to, which is available in your trading zone. So let's get into it. You have your difficulties, as always. You will have to unlock them as you go along during that season. Okay, so right now I can select basically all of them because I've unlocked all of them. When they're not locked, when they are locked, sorry, they will show gray. Okay, and just for this video, I will go ahead and show how much fun some of the other characters can be when you play them, such as WAYYYY and Kibo. And we won't go lone wolf for this build. We'll show you what it's like to recruit other people. So we'll just select a few of the buffs that I normally select. This basically gives you more damage, but gives the enemy more damage. That will prevent death. So there's going to be an entire different change. You're going to see that we're not going to be loading into the screens anymore to select our buffs. Instead, we're loading into these stages. And you start off with buffs immediately. So just for the sake of this video, I will translate this one area for us really quick. And you can see how much different these are. So now every character has their own like signature treasures. And sorry, I'll have to pause really quick. Resume. So you can see Zenkibo has a surprise gift, roller skates, and I don't know if these transitions are correct, but notice the buffs, okay? Notice that this time when she uses her bomb, it'll explode 3 more times and gather enemies. Notice that her roller skates have a delay, okay? But the damage of the skill is 20%. And notice that her skill sniper mode increases 20% when in sniper mode is turned on. And the damage received from her is reduced by 30%. So we're gonna definitely choose this one for fun. Now solo build, she has a, when you go lone wolf, she has a ability that makes it so that she can basically spam her S3 infinitely. But let's go over the UI really quick. You can see here that she obviously has her build in her Aether code, so she has a lot more traces. She has 4 of these triangles up, sorry, diamonds up here. This is your life. You can die up to 5 times, I believe, during your entire run. Okay, so pay attention to this. You can also gain these back depending on what you get from your rewards. You have your gold up here, as well as your characters here, which when you're not in combat, you can switch out your supports because you can get more than just 2 supports, which is really, really neat. So we're going to go ahead and pick a buff. I don't remember a lot of the buffs specifically, but I'll show you the gates that are recruitment gates and some other gates. So each gate obviously gives you different buffs, and then you have to face enemies. And you can see the damage output from these characters are much stronger than when you're playing the DV that we currently have. So they take characters that are not so much fun to play and make them a lot more enjoyable. After each boss that you fight, you also gain another one of their specific character treasures. Alright, so I've killed, now my buffs will show up. I'll select the buff. And now 2 more gates will show up, and we'll see from here. Now this right here is where you get more modifiers. So this is where you can recruit, and the recruiting is super cool. So you can use your gold to recruit, or specific characters you're required to fight to recruit. And so you can see we have Tsukiyomi, and Asura. Okay, you can see this is a free recruit. Okay, this one costs 800 of the currency. Okay, and I think this one we have to fight. Nope, never mind, we're good. Sometimes you have to fight them, sometimes you don't. But there's usually some you have to fight. But I can't translate Chinese, so I don't ever know which one is which, but I do know when we have to pay for one because it shows how much the cost is on them. So now we have Rahu, and Rahu's here. Rahu death will not take up one of your lives, okay? So we'll go to the first boss, and then that's where we'll end our YouTube video showcase. Because I just want to show you how quick it is. One of the things they said in the update is that they reduce from 40 stages to 25. And it makes it way more enjoyable. Less of an endurance fight. Less of an, you know, a patience test. Alright, let's see what we have another modifier, so let's go ahead and recruit another one. The first stage doesn't even go up to 10. That's how much it's reduced. And you'll notice once we get to the boss. Alright, so now we've got S-Rank Leviathan, and we have tier. Let's see. S-Rank Leviathan. It looks like none of these cost anything. We'll see if we get them for free or we have to fight them. Okay, we're good. The difficulty depends on how much you add to the difficulty. There is no longer a normal and hard. You just either scale your difficulty or not. You can no longer change leaders. That is no longer an option. But you can get more and more supports and change how many supports you have. Now, if that changes and if I'm wrong, I would gladly like to be corrected. But I have not found a way to change leaders at all through any of the buffs, through translating them and reading them. And I haven't been able to find a way through this menu either. Because this menu now, once I gain more recruits, I can swap these out. Like, I can just drop these and just play solo. But that doesn't really help because I don't have Lone Wolf buff, right? Or I can add these two there. And now you can see we can get Gen Zone bonuses, right? Ultimate Chain bonuses. But notice, I've only gone to stage 1-6. And now I'm already at the first boss. So the first stage, you don't have to go all 9 to get to it. I'm pretty sure it's 6, 8, 10. So it's 6 levels for stage 1. 8 levels for stage 2. And then 10 levels for stage 3. And something also that meant you no longer have opportunities anymore. Opportunities are now gone. Okay. Treasures are there, but treasures are different, right? Treasures are based off of your character specifically. And notice how much the HP bars are much higher for these bosses. So they scale the difficulty of the bosses because they're scaling the brokenness of your character with things you cannot do normally. So we'll do this helpless fight, and then we'll show you what you get afterwards. So you can know what it's like to get bonuses after bosses. So, with it having to reset, with it having to basically start fresh and start over, some players might be a little turned off by that, but because the system and mechanics are so different, and you no longer have to clear normal to unlock hard and things like that, you've got, you know, it's a lot easier, it's a lot more bearable to go through the process all over again. And since it's seasonal based, you can spend as much time or as little time as you want each week right? Doing your stuff. You can focus on just doing the challenges. And then, you know, clear that monthly reward for whatever you want. I mean, you can clear the entire season in a week if you're that crazy and bored of not having content. To be honest, this is a really good addition considering we don't have a lot of added extra content right now. With Hades, we're getting more story, we're getting an event, you know, but this will be a much welcome content change. Now, this content change doesn't happen until 2.0 in CN, so this is a big quality of life push by Yoastar. Alright, so we've cleared the stage, and now we see if we get a buff, a normal buff, we get our HP back, we get another normal buff, and we get more treasures. It does not give gems weekly, instead it gives gems during the season, so you can either clear and get all 1600 gems in 1 week and finish the entire season in 1 week, or you can, excuse me, or you can take your time and clear it over the month. It's 1600 gems for the season. So the season takes about 20 to 30 days. I can't remember. Excuse me. And right now we only get a weekly reward, right? So you can get it as fast or as slow as you want. So you can see now we're getting extra tickets. I'm sorry, not tickets, sorry. We're getting extra treasures. And now here's the crazy one. Every time you shoot in sniper mode, you get 1 mark back, which basically creates an infinite skill shot, okay? So let's go ahead and just continue just a little bit, just so you can see how B-Ranks and Kibo gets more fun in this mode. You can basically restart runs to try and get your perfect treasures that you want to set up a really fun mode. We'll just go ahead and buy some random buffs here, and then we'll go ahead to this one. B-Ranks and Kibo in the new dimensional variable is a monster. I once did a 1 billion damage run by hitting 1 million damage per shot with Lone Wolf and her setup. So now we see we have the enemies there. I've got 3 traces. Every time I fire, I get a trace back, which means infinite skill spam. This is where things get fun. It runs out after a time, but basically you just have to reset it all over again. Yeah, no more sweating. It's all about fun. It's a roguelike that's now about fun and doesn't feel difficult just for the sake of difficulty. You know, it's no longer about enduring your DV runs. Yeah, it's all about having fun. So it's like a true roguelike mode that we get in other games. And it's honestly extremely welcome. And for them to push it this fast is a really good move. It's even more casual. And there you go. There's how the keyboard can get really fun. So that is going to be my YouTube video. Okay. For the kind of a quick overview of dimensional variable. I obviously didn't go into extreme detail, but I wanted to try and show people what's coming up soon. Stay tuned for my Hades video that's also going to be out this week as well. And enjoy yourselves out there. Thank you very much. Don't forget, I'm at twitch.tv/adRocZ every day, streaming Aether Gazer content and more. Like and subscribe. And yeah.